Imagine casually walking through one of the biggest cities in Canada, and suddenly, the street name changes. Not because of a typo, not because of some technical glitch, but because it was officially changed by the city government. And here's the wild part. The reason behind it comes down to just one thing: BTS. Yep, you heard that right. Toronto, one of the most iconic cities in North America, has officially renamed part of one of its streets to welcome the arrival of a boy band from South Korea, a group that's become nothing short of a global phenomenon. And this isn't just some cheap gimmick, guys. This is an official decision from Toronto City Council, complete with documents, legal approvals, and even a whole drama around intellectual property rights. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happened in Toronto this week. Why would a city this big essentially surrender to a purple wave called ARMY? Who's actually behind this movement? And just how big is the economic and social impact of BTS coming to this city? If this is your first time on this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, because we cover viral entertainment phenomena like this every single week. Alright, no more stalling. Let's dive straight into it. Okay, so here's how it all started. This whole thing kicked off with a proposal submitted by a Toronto city councillor named Lily Chung. She's the mastermind behind this street renaming idea. Her motion was submitted and approved during a city council meeting at the end of July. What's in it? A stretch of Yonge Street, specifically in an area known as Koreatown North, is being temporarily renamed BTS Boulevard. This stretch runs from North York Boulevard to Finch Avenue, and this isn't just a one-day ceremonial thing. The renaming runs from August 21st all the way through September 23rd, so it's actually up for over a month. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Getting this approved wasn't as simple as it sounds. Because BTS is a massive brand with intellectual property that's fiercely protected by their agency, the city had to secure official permission from BTS's label to use the group's name on public property like street signs. And this approval process was reportedly racing against a pretty tight deadline. What makes it even cooler is that the local fan community actually stepped in to help push this through. Reports say ARMY members in Toronto launched a social media campaign, directly tagging BTS's management accounts to help speed up the approval process. So this wasn't just a top-down initiative from the city government. It was genuinely a joint effort with fans who were determined to make this moment special. In total, about 20 BTS Boulevard signs were installed along Yonge Street. And here's a fun detail. You'd probably assume the signs would be purple, right? Purple is BTS and ARMY's signature color. But surprisingly, these street signs were actually designed in black and red instead of purple. Why? Because that was a specific request from BTS's management to match the visual theme of their current world tour, called Arirang, which leans into a red and black aesthetic. One more thing that sets this apart from similar celebrations before, when Toronto did something similar for Taylor Swift, those street signs were typically auctioned off afterward to raise money for charity. But for BTS Boulevard, the signs won't be auctioned. This one is purely a symbolic keepsake, not a fundraising tool. Beyond the street renaming, it turns out this celebration goes way bigger than that. One of Toronto's most iconic landmarks, the massive Toronto sign that stands proudly in front of City Hall, got a makeover of its own. Throughout the concert dates, this iconic sign was lit up in purple, the color that's become synonymous with BTS and the ARMY community. And it doesn't stop there. City Council officially requested that Toronto's Mayor, Olivia Chow, designate August 22nd and 23rd as BTS Weekend in Toronto. Just imagine, 2 full days on the city's official calendar dedicated specifically to welcoming one music group. The mayor even invited residents and visitors alike to wear purple as a way of celebrating BTS's arrival in the city. So why would a city as big as Toronto go through all this trouble? The answer is actually pretty straightforward once you look at it from an economic and tourism angle. The concert is being held at Rogers Stadium, and this isn't some small-scale show. It's expected to draw around 100,000 attendees over the course of 2 nights. That means hundreds of thousands of people flooding into Toronto, booking hotels, eating at local restaurants, buying merchandise, using public transit, and significantly boosting the city's economy. This moment also became a golden opportunity for the city to promote Korean culture, which already has a strong presence in the Koreatown North area. One city official openly said this was a great opportunity to amplify Korean culture being celebrated, and that they were hoping to invite BTS Army to also join a Korean festival happening around the same time as the group's arrival in the city. So really, this is a win-win situation. On one side, Army gets a special moment that makes them feel genuinely valued as a community. On the other, Toronto gets a massive economic boost and cultural spotlight. Now, let's get into what I think is the most touching part of this entire story. Because behind all the buzz around street signs and purple lighting, there's a deeply personal story that's actually the heart of this whole movement. There's a woman named Sakvin Van. About 4 years ago, she was going through one of the lowest points in her life. She felt stuck, like her life had no direction. During that difficult period, her brother encouraged her to find a positive outlet through something she loved, K-pop, specifically BTS. Van took that advice, and that's how BTS Army Toronto was born. But tragically, not long after the community was formed, her brother, the person who had originally encouraged her, passed away. In the midst of that heavy grief, Van didn't give up. Instead, she kept growing this community into something far bigger than just a typical fan club. Now, at 43 years old, she leads a community that has grown to support hundreds, even thousands of fans, backed by a core team of about 10 people. This community isn't just about gathering to watch concerts together. They regularly organize events, from giveaways to charity fundraisers to campaigns supporting local Korean-owned businesses in Toronto. Even before this concert, they were already hosting community events like golf days and casual cafe meetups. Today, Van runs this community alongside her own son, Jordan Van, who is 24 years old. This mother-son duo has become the face of the Army movement in Toronto. Jordan himself is one of the most dedicated fans out there. He even splurged on VIP tickets worth around $1,250 per night just to attend both nights of BTS's shows in his own hometown. In one interview, Sakvin Van shared how she felt looking back at everything she's built. In essence, she said that what she built was originally purely for the community, but it ended up coming back to her tenfold. She also talked about how this community has helped so many people find friendships they never expected to have. People who came into each other's lives simply because they shared the same love for music. Stories like this, I think, are really important to highlight. Because behind all the hype and excitement over street signs, purple lights, and massive crowds, there's a much deeper human story here. It's about how a fan community can become a space for healing, a space where people find new meaning in life, even in the midst of heavy loss. What makes this moment even more epic is that the Army showing up in Toronto aren't just from Canada. They're flying in from all over the world. One example, a fan named Shelly Gomez, who currently lives in Montreal, but is originally from Paris, France. She deliberately flew into Toronto, landing early in the morning, just to be part of the BTS Boulevard unveiling ceremony. Gomez is a longtime fan who's been following BTS since their debut back in 2013. So this isn't a fan who jumped on the bandwagon recently. This is someone who's been loyal for over a decade. She's actually seen BTS perform live before at Stade de France, one of the largest stadiums in France, located just north of Paris. For her, this moment in Toronto is another chance to relive that same excitement and to reunite with fellow fans from all over the world. Zooming out a bit, this concert is part of a much bigger picture, BTS's ongoing world tour called the Arirang World Tour. This tour is genuinely world-class in scale. Dozens of cities across multiple continents are on the route, and Toronto is the only Canadian stop on the entire tour. That means this is the one and only chance for fans in Canada, and honestly Northern North America as a whole, to see BTS perform live without having to fly halfway around the world. The Toronto show itself is being held at Rogers Stadium, an outdoor venue often used for large-scale music events. And this moment has genuinely been years in the making. BTS's last performance in Toronto was more than a decade ago. So this is essentially a long-awaited comeback moment, one that both local and international fans have been anticipating for a very long time. Before this world tour, BTS had actually been on hiatus since 2022, as each of the group's 7 members completed their mandatory military service, a requirement for able-bodied South Korean men between the ages of 18 and 28. So after years of being apart due to national duty, their comeback with their fifth album, titled Rang, is an emotional milestone, both for the members of BTS themselves and for millions of fans around the world who've been waiting patiently. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Why does a phenomenon like this actually matter, beyond just being fun gossip to talk about? First, this shows just how far modern fandom power has evolved, way beyond simply attending concerts or buying albums. Fandoms today have real power to influence public policy. Think about it. A city as large as Toronto was willing to officially rename a street, change the lighting on one of its most iconic landmarks, and even designate special days on the city calendar, all driven by the power of a well-organized fan community. Second, this is solid proof of just how massive the economic impact of the Korean entertainment industry, commonly known as the Hallyu Wave, has become for major cities around the world. Many analysts have even predicted that the scale of BTS's current world tour has the potential to rival, or even surpass, the achievements of major Western artists' concert tours, which have long been considered the gold standard of the music industry. Third, this phenomenon fits into a much bigger trend of Korean pop culture continuously expanding its influence across North America. We can see this reflected in other examples too, from a K-pop themed animated film that became a massive success and even won a prestigious award, to Korean-inspired songs that continue to dominate global music charts. All of this shows that K-pop is no longer just a niche music trend. It has become a genuine mainstream cultural force with real global influence. And most importantly, the story behind the ARMY Toronto community teaches us something even more universal. When managed with good intentions, a fandom can become a healing space, a place that brings together people from all kinds of different backgrounds and ultimately builds a genuine sense of togetherness. This isn't just about mass hysteria or momentary excitement. It's about how a community can become a real support system for the people within it. So that's the full story behind Toronto being taken over by BTS street signs and a wave of purple ARMY spirit this week. From the fight to secure approval from BTS's management, to the city council's official decisions, to the deeply moving personal story behind the people leading the ARMY Toronto community. This is a perfect example of how the power of music and fan communities can transform the face of an entire city, even if only temporarily. And one thing's for sure, a moment like this will become an unforgettable memory, both for Toronto residents and for millions of ARMY around the world witnessing this historic moment. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's reasonable for a city to officially rename a street to welcome a music group? Or do you think this is going overboard? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear your take on this phenomenon. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any more exciting updates about entertainment and viral phenomena happening around the world. Share this video with your ARMY friends too, so they can see just how massive this moment in Toronto really is. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.